welcome, and finally we can get stuck in on repairing the Discovery. Now, some of this is old footage, so you just have to bear with me while I bring you forward to present day. But there's some small jobs that I need to get out of the way to make the car safe and usable before I can move on to do the timing chains replacement. And first up is replacing the lock, because the car didn't come with any physical keys. So first of all, I just need to remove the old lock cover. This has actually been broken a little bit. I think somebody's ham-fisted this one off, so it doesn't go back on properly, so we're going to replace that in a future video, and I was able to just pull it off with my fingers. To take the lock off, you just need a Torx something. I used an Allen key, which gave me just enough leverage to crack the little screw off. I'm just making sure at this point I keep pressure on that screw forward, because if that drops inside the door, it'd be an absolute nightmare to get out. Having never taken one of these off before, I was quite surprised to see that it's actually a Volvo part, and you can just see the Volvo part number there. That's good news. It means that Volvos are cheaper than Land Rover, so you could probably pick this up much cheaper than you can if it was a genuine Land Rover part, which is what I did. I bought a brand new one on eBay. But before we crack on and fit that, I do this pretty much on everything that I take off the car. I'm just cleaning up the surrounding area with some degreaser. So here it is. This is a new part off eBay. Hopefully you can just see the part number there. It matches the one that came off the car. And obviously the most important thing here is that this new lock comes with 2 brand new keys. And as they say, installation is the reverse of removal, and that will be our first jobbed on the car. Make sure you stick around for any future videos where I'm going to change all of the covers that you see here for the handles and the lock with some gloss black plastic ones. Moving on to the next issue, not only did the car not come with any physical keys, it only came with one remote fob, so the next job was to order another and reprogram it to the car. This is the key which came with the car. Needs some love, needs some attention. It's peeling open here. So I have already had this apart. Push that up or down, click, that pops out, and you would usually use one of these keys, and you can just see that hole in there, and you just pry that open like so. And so inside there's 2 little plastic tabs, one there, and you just need to pop them off. And this, I think I've had mine apart for the Range Rover, and it didn't have this on, so I think this is to do with the comfort access, some sort of shielding. Again, you just have to pry this off, but this should come off a lot easier because I've already had it off, and you just need to pry it off those 2 tabs without breaking anything, unless obviously you're not bothered because you're changing the case. So there's the circuit board, and you can see what I'm trying to show here is, and I don't know if I can pick it up, is you have these 3 spaces on the PCB for a resistor, and you might just be able to see the left one, show it that way, says NA for North America, middle one EUR for Europe, and the bottom one you just about make out says JPN for Japan. So as you can see, there's a resistor soldered on the NA for North America on this one. Now this car is a Japanese import, so I'm not really sure why it doesn't say JPN, but it doesn't. And so it uses the frequency, and I can't remember off the top of my head which frequency it is, but it uses the American frequency, I believe. So naturally in the UK, you can't find any of these because nobody's running this frequency. So this one I bought from the US,
I can't remember how much it cost me. It was the cheapest I could find, and it was from some company in Florida that refurbishes fobs. So this one, here, let's get this the wrong way around. So every time it clicks down, this one did come with a Virgin key, which I don't need, but it's nice to have, and I could get a third one cut. Pry this apart. What I'm just wanting to check here is that this is definitely an NA soldered on the resistor for North America, and it's the right frequency before I go outside and try and code it to the car. Pop it over, and you can see there that this also has a resistor soldered on the NA, which is good news. I will pop this back together. There she goes. So I'm going to jump outside. I'm going to use this and the ID tool on my phone to recode this. Fingers crossed, everything works. So we're in the car. I've got both keys here. And I'm going to attempt to recode it, and hopefully, because it's North America, it should be the right frequency and everything should be fine. So I've got the ID tool plugged into the OBD port. Upload succeeded. Flash completed. Beep beep. Seems to have worked. We'll jump on outside. Make sure it locks the car, make sure it unlocks it, and everything should be fine. I've gone and put the other key fob inside. Lock. It works fine. And it should unlock if I hold it. And it does. Success. One job down, 2 keys.
Just my luck. One thing fixed, another thing breaks. I believe it's quite common on these cars for the boot actuator to fail because of the age of the car and the amount of use that it gets. Problem is, to fix the issue, you've got to get behind some of the trim pieces, and you can't open the boot, so you've got to jump into the car and start tactically pulling away some of the interior trim plastics until you can get to the cable to release the boot.
Oh, nearly. Hey. Whew. There we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. Got myself a little helper. Yeah? You gonna do it for Daddy?
Yes!
Yes!
For the next bit, there's a little cover over where the cable is, and you've got to cut it with a knife and just feed your hand in and then try and pull it until it pops open.
Wow. Look at that.
Back outside the car where I can start the process of unscrewing all of the plastic trims so we can get to that actuator and replace it.
That's one. Just be careful it retracts.
It's at this point life got in the way and things stalled on the car for quite a while, but I ordered a load of parts and I got back to work.
We are back to present day. I did wonder about getting a Chinese one, but apparently they don't last very long. It's a bit false economy because if you're replacing it every couple of years, by the time, you know, if this car's over 10 years, then this has lasted 10 years. It literally was working when I got the car and then just stopped working the week I started using it. And that's the original one. And I bought a brand new, genuine. And you can tell it's genuine because it's the FOMO Go Ford Motor Company. I'll just take these off just to compare. There wasn't that much information about this on the internet, so I'll just show you to compare. It's a T15. Ford Motor Company. I'll just show you what the problem is in this. And get the clip the right way around. So up here is the button, and that's the problem, because the actuator for the upper portion of the boot is in the lower portion, which is why it's such a pain in the ass to get to. So you can see there it's not really pulling that very strongly, and it does stop. And the new one, all the way, lovely jubbly. Like so. That is tight. I popped it in the end, just by hand, just really tight. Pop, clips in. There we go. Let's get the cover back on. It's good for me. Test. Right, let's tidy this up, push this back a little bit, and then just test it. We have success. I could have just cut this and just put some tape on it, but it just felt a bit bodgy on the car. That just feels like it's never been touched. So I've got some similar stuff here. It looks almost identical actually. So I need to make a template and then stick this on, because this here is an enclosed unit for the subwoofer here. This is the air chamber, so it needs to be all sealed off. So let's do that next. So I've basically just got some paper and just put it over the top and just rub my fingernail around it to get an indentation, and then draw around it in pen, cut it out, offer it up, put some markings on here, trim it if it needs it, tape it together. God, it's so windy today. First test a fit. That's pretty good to me. So I need to clean all this up now, whip all this off, get a toffee wheel on this, and some tar glue remover. Just shove some brown tape on these areas just to mask off, because this stuff flicks up everywhere and just easy for clean up. That's all that cleaned up. Don't be under any illusion that's not a fast job, so I can understand why people just cut it and put a bit of tape on it, but just didn't feel right in this car. So got the template, well, got the actual part, and I've cut another one. Well, I've drawn around another one in case I have to do this in the future. I've already got one ready to go. Doesn't look like they actually have clips in them. There's like blanks in the middle, so I'm going to leave that. So let's stick this on. That looks pretty good to me. Certainly going to do what it needs to do. Doesn't look bad at all. So next, I need to put the rear trim clip back on. Let's put a bit of silicone spray on these just to remember to support this behind. I've got it on a cushion little cloth, because they haven't got the straps on yet. Should do it in a minute. There we go. Now I know the car is absolutely filthy, but I'm going to mint it out and thoroughly detail it in another video, but just for the minute I'm just going to clean this strip up just so it's nice and fresh for where that plastic last piece of trim needs to go on. And reduce the amount of water that goes in there. So lastly we've got this piece of trim, a couple of clips and some metal clips, and these are what I've sort of damaged the paint on here, which I've just touched up. So I'll get a bit of silicone spray, help ease it in and pop it down. It's quite annoying actually, because I seem to be missing one screw and one little plastic nipple that covers the screws. I have to watch really old footage back and see if I ever had it. But I'm going to have to buy a new screw, new cap. So I'll just get 3 in for the minute. That concludes that little fix that's been bugging me for ages, but the boot now properly works.
And that's it. Just a quick one today, guys. Thanks for following along. Make sure you tune into the next episode where I start tearing down the engine, ready to replace the timing chains. And I'll see you next time.